Joining us now, Yusuf Gamamaldin from CNBC. He joins us from Dubai. Yusuf, there was an OPEC meeting a day or two ago where they did decide to keep the supply output unchanged at 30 million barrels per day. Have you heard anything from Saudi Arabia or any of the other OPEC members assuring you of a step up in supplies from other countries if Iraqi supply is in fact hurt by what's going on at this point in time?
What we need to do here is simply look at previous comments from the Saudi oil minister, Ali Naimi, who repeatedly made it clear that Saudi Arabia was happy to step it up, if you will, in terms of production if the market does actually need it, and it's not just a question of speculators. Even Capital Economics said in a research note just hours ago that any disruption from Iraq would be relatively contained because of Saudi leverage in that case. Now, also keep in mind that Saudi Arabia has a very difficult relationship, a very frosty relationship with the Iraqi central government under Prime Minister Nouri al-Maliki. Some analysts would argue even more of an incentive for Saudi Arabia to be trigger-happy when it comes to those production numbers. But just also want to pick up on the broader story. You made a very good point about the call by an Iraqi Shiite leader to arms against Sunni fighters. This is something that some analysts have been very concerned about, is an open sectarian conflict. So this is no longer simply a fight between a movement that is driven by Sunni Islam against one that is inspired by Shia Islam. This also involves the central government, and that means you have another front. It means it increases the stakes and arguably makes it much more difficult to resolve the issue here. We did hear from the U.S. Secretary of State as well, John Kerry, who said that the situation there poses a threat to not just U.S. interests, but to the international community. And he said he expected the U.S. president to make a decision on the matter. He said that he was, quote, laser focused on the situation in Iraq. But again, we didn't hear a clear response in terms of what course of action could be expected on that front. And again, also to underscore what you said in terms of contained impact on oil prices for the moment, so only. The Swiss-based consultancy Petromatrix would agree with that, and so would the IEA as well in their recent report yesterday.
Yusuf, pleasure speaking with you. Thanks very much for joining us and giving us an update on the situation. That is Yusuf Gamamaldin of CNBC reporting there from Dubai. Of course, we are waiting to hear what the US has to say in terms of possible action. As Yusuf was pointing out, the president has said that the US has a laser focus on the situation at this point in time.